Hello, my name is Erika Scherer and I'm in the Ways of Knowing Fall 2020 course taught by Professor Tim Burnett, and I was a part of the Martha Nussbaum group. I am a third-year communications student. This presentation is important to me because I believe it is a good idea to give yourself time to reflect about the course you are enrolled in and specifically what you have learned and improved on. I enrolled in this course in attempts to expand my social network and to learn more about our community, and I wanted to improve my public speaking skills as I knew that there were a lot of presentations included in this course. I originally signed up for the course because a friend of mine also enrolled in it and I needed another course, and I'm glad I did because I was pleasantly surprised. This course was different from my other classes as it was the only one being held on Zoom and the only one where I got the chance to interact with the professor and the other students in the class. This impacted the way I looked at my other classes because it made me realize that I wish that they were in the same format as this one, as it was so much more interactive. Having the option to have my camera on held me accountable for paying attention. I think that this course made me value human interaction in my life way more. Especially with COVID happening and not being able to go anywhere, it was nice to get some interaction with people outside of my circle who came from all over the world. It definitely made me realize that you should never take even the smallest things for granted. A key takeaway from this course for me was initiative and public speaking. Because we had to meet up with our groups and on our own time to work on our projects, it forced us all to take initiative and set time aside for our work. This course also helped my public speaking skills as there were 3 presentations, including this one, and that is a key takeaway for me. Some memorable moments included getting to know the other students during the breaks and breakout rooms, becoming friends with my group members through our Facebook group chat, and also learning more about the course content, specifically being introduced to the SDG goals and how they are something that companies thrive to fulfill. For our first presentation, we decided to reach out to Ken Montgomery, who is the Dean of Education at the University of Windsor. We chose him because we centered our presentation around fulfilling the educational SDG goal. Unfortunately, by the time we presented, he didn't get back to us. We also relied heavily on the BlackBerry website, the UN Global Compact website, and the BlackBerry Challenge Word document that the professor provided. For our second presentation, we reached out to Sydney Thompson, who is a program lead at the Epicenter. We chose her because we centered that presentation around incorporating one of their annual competitions in with the SDG goals as an annual theme. Therefore, she would have expertise in that area. Unfortunately, she also did not reply by the time that we had our final presentation. For this presentation, we also relied heavily on the UN Global Compact website and the Epicenter's website where they showcase the different competitions that they host. Looking back on week 4's class, our professor talked about Kolb's learning model. The first aspect is the concrete experience. My concrete experience was when one of my group members didn't show up for class the day that we had our first presentation. I was pretty anxious as this was our first presentation. My hands were shaking and my face always gets hot when I present. When my group realized they weren't showing up, we went into panic mode. We felt like we were getting left in the dust. We had to cover for their slides, which they knew best about, so it was hard to try and think about what they would have said and executed it correctly. From my perspective, and I'm sure my other present group members' perspectives too, we felt a little betrayed. It also didn't help that we had about a 10-second pause during our presentation because none of us knew who was supposed to present their next slide. After we found out that they actually had a very valid reason to not show up, we felt better about it. From our absent members' perspective, they probably felt guilty for not being able to come to class and contribute to our presentation. The second aspect is the reflective observation. I got the chance to observe how myself and other group members work under pressure. I learned that are all able to handle a curved ball being thrown at us. We put our heads together and figure out a solution to a problem as quickly as possible as we didn't have a lot of time before our presentation. I will take that skill away from the course and apply it to the next time I have to work on something with a quick deadline. A reflection I had about the people we were presenting it to, including our professor and the other students, was that they were all very patient and understanding. When we had that 10-second pause, most of them had their cameras on, and I didn't notice any confused or annoyed faces, which I thought was nice. The next aspect is abstract conceptualization. The framework behind this course is based on Melanie Walker's 3 intersecting capability dimensions, those being personhood self-formation, epistemic contribution, and sufficiency of economic resources. I believe that I had a growth period through this course. As touched upon before, I think I further developed my ability to work under pressure, my public speaking abilities, and my initiative also improved. I applied my epistemic contribution by doing my portion of the work through the worksheets provided and by coming up with solutions to the two different presentation topics. We all used our economic resources in this class to further our research for our presentations and to also help us participate and attend class through our personal devices. The last aspect is active experimentation. I had to, as all of my group members, take on a leadership role in order to come up with ideas to contribute to our presentation. This was a bit new to me, as most of my other assignments in other classes were extremely detailed and there wasn't really a lot of room for freedom and initiative. I learned through these presentations how to take a risk with your ideas and how to work under pressure efficiently. Melanie Walker's capability list includes 11 capabilities, but I will be focusing on 3 that had the most effect on me. These 3 are imagination and empathy, active and experiential learning, and confidence. Imagination and empathy is defined as being able to understand the lives and worlds of others, being compassionate, being able to respond to human need and suffering, and being able to deliberate ethically. Before this course, I may not have been so understanding during group projects. They used to annoy me, as not everyone was always reliable and it was hard to keep track of all of our separate work. Now that I look at this aspect, I realize how much I've grown. I now understand and am empathetic to my group members, as constantly communicating with them throughout working on these assignments reminded me that we are all trying our best, especially with the state of the world right now. The second capability is active and experiential learning. This is defined as when a person is able to pursue one's own inquiries, being motivated or having enjoyment and pleasure in learning. Before this course, my motivation for school was a little low, as I didn't want to give up the summer and start classes again. But once I got into the thick of my course load, I realized how much I enjoyed being a part of this class. I felt motivated to show up each week to listen and give my ideas. I feel like I was learning something new each week, and that could be applied to my life skills set. The last capability is confidence. Confidence is defined as the following: being confident to express an opinion, to succeed with learning tasks, being encouraged and supporting in learning. Before this class, I didn't have any classes that had the students actively participate as much as this one. For this reason, my confidence was not as high as it is now, as I didn't ever get the opportunity to contribute during group discussions. Now, I feel like I am confident in my thoughts and ideas, and I think that I can thank that to this course and the active participation I did throughout it. Next time I have group work, I will use all of these things that I have learned throughout this course and apply it to those projects. Hopefully, I will continue to be motivated, confident, imaginative, and empathetic. I also wanted to add that I got all of these definitions from the capability approach and experiential learning paper provided for us. In conclusion, I would like to thank Professor Burnett for listening to my presentation today and also for teaching this class. I had a wonderful time throughout this semester and hope to take another class of yours in the future. Thank you so much.